Hello everyone, welcome to Shabd Psychology Podcast. My name is Yogendra, and in this podcast I am going to talk about theory of personality. Yes, my dear friend, theory of personality. The personality is made up of three major components. The id, ego and superego. And my dear friends, each component has its own functions, principles and dynamics, and they are closely related with each other, and behavior is production of these interactions. Now we will discuss these components in detail. First of all, we'll talk about the id. The id is the source of all basic inherited drives and instincts. The id is governed by pleasure principle. From birth, humans are motivated to gratify their biological needs, such as hunger. For instance, if the infant is hungry, he cries unless his needs for hunger is gratified. It cannot distinguish between fantasy and reality. The aim of the id is to obtain pleasure and avoid pain. It attempts to reduction tension by reflection, action, sneezing and primary process. Primary process reduces tension with forming mental image of the object. To reduce tension of hunger, mental image of food will be formed, but this mental image cannot really satisfy the hunger need. In order to gratify this need in real terms, the ego emerges. This is the second system that takes over to gratify the hunger need, and that is the ego. Let's talk about ego. My dear friends, it knows only subjective reality, but ego understands the external reality. Ego is governed by reality principle. The inner demand is gratified with consideration of outside restrictions. The hunger person has to seek and eat food to reduce tension. Ego functions as executive, balancing between subjective reality and objective reality. Now we'll talk about superego. My dear friends, superego is not an inborn component of personality. It develops out of the ego. Superego has no energy of its own. In the process of socialization, the individual learns from parents, teachers, and elders all about how to behave in the society, what norms to follow, what is right and what is wrong, what is good and what is bad. Through rewards and punishment, the parents inculcate in children moral values, and these in course of time become part of the individual's personality. Superego is a preserver of conscience, and hence when a person does something wrong, it makes him feel guilty. The problem that the individual faces, according to Freud, arise because of imbalance between these three personalities components. Let's talk about techniques of psychoanalysis. My dear friends, the process of counseling encourages the client to get aware of the material repressed in the conscious, in the unconscious, and resolve the conflicts. The client is encouraged to talk freely, to disclose unpleasant, difficult, embarrassing thoughts. Sometimes free association method is used, in which client is expected to state whatever comes in his mind regardless of its relevance. Dream analysis is also one of the important techniques employed for making aware of the material repressed in the unconscious. Along with this technique, interpretation of resistance analysis of transference is used in psychoanalysis. Thank you so much for your patience, for your interest, for your trust. Keep listening, keep learning.